Hello, this is my Killjoy guide on Haven. We're going to start off on C defense. Super easy setup we're going to start off with as well. We're going to have the turret in the corner with the molly in the middle here. And then we're going to have the alarm bot on this corner with the molly on this corner. Basically, it's a really hard setup for them to like kill initially, right? They have to peek into garage to kill the turret, and they can't really kill the alarm bot from like super far down long. So it's a pretty safe setup, pretty easy, basically like a foundational setup for you, just to make sure like if you don't have a good setup for like the read you have, or if you don't have a read, then this is a good setup to use. The next setup is going to be a very similar one. It's just basically the opposite. So we're going to have the turret in the corner here, and we're going to have the alarm bot. I put the alarm bot off to the side just so it doesn't get sprayed very easily, like straight through. It can still get sprayed, as you can kind of see, but it's very unlikely someone's going to spray this exact like region for the alarm bot unless they know it's there. And then I'm going to place the alarm bot, the swarm next to it. And then we'll place the swarm in this corner this time. The reason why we swapped it up is that if the enemy player wants to swing the turret and kill it, they're going to be right on top of this molly when I detonate it, because I'm going to detonate it off this turret, shooting or dying. And obviously both ways, it's probably going to be able to get quite a good tag with this molly. And obviously the molly is exactly the same over here. The alarm bot goes off, you do this, and they can't get into garage properly, and without taking damage. So that's pretty much it for that sort of setup. There's two more setups we can do. So this setup is a bit riskier. It has like two turrets you can do. There are like two different turrets you can do for it. It has an alarm bot over on B. And you can place the alarm bot, here, just to like cover the entrance and not get shot instantly. And this this turret should cover everything up to garage. The one weakness of this turret really is that, well, it can be killed like quite easily through long over here, but they do have to be pushed along. And the other reason is if they put a smoke here, then it can't see into garage. So sometimes I like to combine it with two different mollies here. So the first molly is the one we've been using, is this one. Just so if this smoke does go up, then I can just molly this preemptively and then run over here basically while that molly is going off. The other molly I like to do as well is this one. It stops people hiding in this corner if that is actually like appropriate, or it stops them like jumping up and coming into the window, so it gives me more time to like get in here and know it's kind of clear, basically. Kind of how it goes. And that's kind of like the two ways that goes. And then there's also another version of this where you place it. Sorry, the other turret that you can place with that play is here, but I think it gets a lot less value because if the smoke goes on it, then it's literally in the smoke and you won't see anything. So I don't think it's very good. The other thing we can do as well, this is my no molly setup. So what I do, the reason why I have a no molly setup is because I like to use two mollies for retaking A sometimes when I have my ult up. And usually I only do this setup when I have a really good read that they're going A and they're going hard A as well. They're not like splitting up too much. So I'm going to place this turret here. And I'm going to also place a molly. Sorry, not molly. My alarm bot here. I can also place the alarm bot in garage too. So this version is like pretty safe version basically, where I don't need the molly so much because I'm in garage anyway. So I can kind of just chill in garage and hopefully not die. And sometimes I'll take fights, sometimes I won't. Very rarely will I take fights in there. Actually take fights. And the other version of this is this is if I'm very, very certain they're going to go away. Like they have like I have really good reason to know, like they have like a breach ult and they've done it before and that kind of stuff, or like that it worked for them every single time going gay and that sort of stuff. Then I'll place my alarm bot in here and I'll play B, like towards the right side of B, and I'll just chill here basically, and wait for me to go and retake A basically. I'll be really super close so I can get everything sorted and ready. We can set up A link really easily, and then yeah, I won't get killed on the cross probably because I'll be there really, really fast as well, across through B. So yeah, it's a really good setup if you have like double molly setup, or like a double molly lineup on A retake, which I do. So let's talk about B. So there's one setup I do for B, very similar to the one I've just shown on C, which is basically put the turret on here, and as long as this turret doesn't go off, we are completely fine in mid most of the time in window and like in this sort of area. And then I'll just place the turret here. So the alarm bot here, usually with a molly. You can also do this molly with it as well, as I said, because you probably won't be playing garage. You'll probably be playing either C or you'll be playing B. Usually I would play like in this sort of C link area towards C, and usually I'm like helping defend like maybe a jet AWP or something. We have like strong side A, So I've got this setup, we have an AWP C, and then I've got 3 players in A. That's usually how this would like look like. This is when I'll do the setup. So yeah, this is kind of how it will go. And then I can use these mollies to like get into C window before they kind of get into C window, and that kind of stuff. It's really good. There is a B setup I do as well for the second round of the half if we've lost the pistol. I'll just do a turret like this, and I'll sit in backside with my classic. You can also, if I did get like a kill and pick a pistol or something as well, I would also put alarm bot here. And basically just defends backside, and I can take some pretty decent fights with my classic backside here, especially with the alarm bot here, and just try to like hold on to backside as much as possible. Just so when my teammates like come around to like try and help from C-Link and A-Link, like we've kind of got a decent amount of control of the site, and they're not like too far into the site and it's not gonna be impossible. That's what I kind of like with this anyway. A lot of the time as well on the second round, they don't try to take too much of B site. Sometimes they sometimes do, but for the most part, I actually feel like they don't. At least in my experience. So Mad probably is the wrong player to be honest, but that means probably do it more at like lower elos anyway, or even middle type elos. Maybe honestly in high elos I do it as well. So this setup should work out for you quite well. And let's go on to A setup. So I only have 2 setups for A. Because I don't really play A a huge amount. I like to prioritize going over near garage and B and C. So my 2 setups are 1 turret up here, and then we put the alarm bot here. You can put the mollies kind of anywhere you want to. You can put one here like this for the alarm bot, completely fine. You can also put one down here as well for the turret. Is also completely fine. You can swing off this turret if you want to. You can swing off the alarm bot if you want to. Kind of up to you how you want to play this setup. I haven't got it too refined though, so even though the setup is good, I'm not like too refined with like all the situations and that kind of stuff. So there probably is like, I'm just gonna leave it up to like interpretation of how you want to actually play with that setup properly. There probably are better ways to do it. I also do have like basically the opposite setup where you put this in this corner, and then you put the alarm bot when the barrier goes down here, and then you can kind of basically do the same thing. But it's just that the turret is a bit more in a defensive position, so then you can kind of use both mollies to like do this, and you can get early info. Or you can go straight up for early info, so you can get rid of the turret here, and basically the alarm bot will get early info in short. But you can also place a turret against the barrier here, or what you can do is you can place it on, sorry, not like that. You can place it like this, and basically what will happen is that you'll get info when they're pushed up long, and you'll get info when they're like in the middle of short, or like kind of pushed up short. So then you actually kind of get like this passive info on A, and it allows you like to, you can not use mollies on this once again if you don't want to, but I like to not use a molly here. With this and save one molly for C. And that's kind of it for the actual like sites, but I will talk about retaking real quick. So on a retake as defense, I've already talked about A, so this is the best ult for sure on A. And notice there's a pocket of space here. But there isn't one here, despite the map telling you there is. There isn't a pocket of space here, and then there's this sort of pocket here. And basically I have mollies for both those pockets. The one over here is really easy, so you just go into this corner, and you aim like, so I'm look at this corner here when I'm aiming. I'm putting the arrow on that corner, and then I just throw. No, not even a jump, right? You just throw. It's really, really consistent, really, really easy. Definitely one that you should be using on Killjoy, on Haven, if you ever play it. The other one that you can do as well is once you've placed this ult, you can run straight at this corner like this, and then you want to look at this corner here, and you want to place this part of the hood on this corner here, and then jump through. And it should, so I don't get it super consistent because of the jumping, but it should go like this. So you actually get this through the skylight, and it basically blocks people off from like trying to run through the ult. There is a little pocket here still, so it is not like perfect. It could be better. I have been thinking about trying to get a better version of that, but it seems pretty difficult to get a good one, to get like a perfect one. But that one's pretty good. It does still get chip damage and things. So it does work on timing. So you do this, run at the corner. I missed the corner a tiny bit, but that's okay. And then I'm kind of a bit behind on the timing, to be honest. It should be about 7 seconds when you throw the second one. But I was a bit slow, but it still was on time. So I was a bit slow, so you don't have to be super fast, but generally you want 7 seconds left of your ult when you're throwing the second one. And that's kind of how it will look on retake A for me. Other than that, like obviously using turrets, like check through smokes like this, check corners, using the same for the arm bot as well if I've got them up. That's kind of how it goes on A. On B, Once again, it's very, very similar. There's no really any good ults. Like, you can do this. Not too bad. You can do the same on A. Over here. These ults are completely fine. But I generally don't try and use my ult. I don't really like to use my ult for retakes on B if I don't have to. Well, things like this are really good, so you don't have to fight the corner. Okay, so next we have the retake on C. So I actually use this corner because it covers everything on C site. So if I just place it, you'll see. It covers everything on C site. So a lot of people will ult in this corner here. But I personally don't like it that much because it just leaves this corner open. And obviously sometimes you can get free kills. Like, you place it like this and then you get like a lineup, for instance. I can get that perfectly like this or something. On those lines, maybe it has to get this perfectly though. Actually, no, it doesn't actually. You just have to push people out this corner. So yeah, that could work. If you want to do that, that's actually completely fine. But I also have a different... I don't do that personally, but honestly, it's not too bad. I could do it. But I do this one instead. So I do this ult, and then I run over to this corner. And then I aim this part of the hood with this like bottom left corner here. This part of the hood like this. And then jump through. And this is also a short that I think I had a long time ago. Where it lands into the club beat. And gets the full corner as well, so it gets everything in the cubby, so you generally get free kills. It also lands as you like come around the corner here as well, so you're really likely to get kills because it pushes them out of the cubby as well. So then you can just spray people down and they run out the cubby. It's really, really strong, honestly. I recommend doing it as much as possible when you have like your ult up for retaking. See, checking corners with your alarm bot, checking things with your turret. They're pretty simple to know and understand. And that's kind of like obviously really contextual as well. Like, there's no like good place to put them or whatever. It's just depending on what isn't cleared and what is cleared and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's it for the retaking. I'll go on to attack. Okay, so on attack, we're going to talk about defaulting first. And there's plenty of ways a default can go, right? You can default towards A, you can default towards C, you can default towards B. And on Haven, honestly, two of those three are pretty plausible. Defaulting B and defaulting A. I think defaulting towards C long isn't as plausible. Maybe C garage is a bit more plausible, but that's like defaulting mid, I would say. So let's talk about defaulting towards A first, or like having a setup that we are going to go A with. So we're gonna have a turret. So we're gonna have an alarm bot there, and we're gonna have our turret here. This defends mid totally, right? So I mean, this is basically really, really good if we're defaulting towards A and defaulting towards C, like or either one of those rounds, right? So if we do defaulting towards A, our teammates will go A, and we can basically put these two things up and sit waiting for C, right? The other way around, you can do it as well. They go C, and you sit here waiting for A. That's basically how it's going to go, right? You can also do this if you go B, technically, as well. You just do minus the alarm bot, and you place that either towards C, and watch this. Or, as you can imagine, the vice versa, which is place your alarm bot over here, and go sit towards C. So, this is like pretty standard for Killjoy, the way that she plays on attack. You basically just want to make sure you're always putting your turret in places as well. Say if you're going like 5-man A, then you can place your turret here. I usually always place my alarm bot here if we're going A, especially if, honestly, this is just a really, really strong place to put the alarm bot aside from going C. So I would just put it there majority of the time. This is like a good anti-flank turret as well for going A. When it comes to attacking A, so going A, the best ult is going to be this one. It covers basically the majority of A. The only place it doesn't cover is this corner here and these corners up here. And that's basically it, right? You can also molly those as well. Or you can molly this at least. It's a bit easier. You can throw it over the box, I'm pretty sure, if I'm actually not bad. Okay, I am bad. I'm looking. You can do this. There you go. I got it second time. Second time is the charm. And that's kind of how that will look if you have ult. If you don't have ult, then you're going to have both your alarm bot and your use. So I'm going to use them real quick. Even, you know, obviously the probably better, you'll probably place it better position than that. Maybe I've used my you know what, we'll just pretend we did that. We'll just pretend we used it heaven, and then we've got like, maybe we place both on the bomb as well, to be fair. And that's kind of how it will go. Whatever. You're going to be using your mollies for either like stopping things from coming in as well, anti-flood, or you're going to be using them for post-plant. That's kind of how it will go for A. That's it really. Usually I'm going to be positioning in short as well. I very rarely go long. I'm usually in the short sort of region. It's pretty good for Killjoy. Let's just use that thing. Next is B. So on B, there's not really a huge amount I do, other than obviously having these like default setups that I've already shown. Other than that, there's nothing really too special. If we all go B, I might do some anti-flood mollies on either side, or I'm going to place my mollies for the post, and that's kind of it. That's literally it. It's really simple. I very rarely ult for B specifically. This ult, if we take like the front of B, right? Sometimes I'll do this ult, and it will actually threaten us going into C and garage, right? This can be a decent ult sometimes, but I think it's really hard to communicate what this ult actually gives you. And what you can do with it to a solo queue team. I think it's much more like a premier type ult, this one is. Same with this one as well. Don't get me wrong, they're still good, and you can still communicate it to your teammates if you want to do this play. I just think it has a lot less value in solo queue compared to premier. Premier and 5 stacks and whatever. Same with this ult as well, exactly the same. You take garage and then you do this ult. To be fair, this one's much better in solo queue than the other one. It pushes the C players into this region, or it pushes them all the way back to like this point in CT. So these ults are really strong. I probably should have waited, honestly, before I... Actually, no, I was kind of done with B anyway, so we're kind of chilling. The only thing on B left is like you can molly backside like this to push people at backside, and that's it. That's the only other thing I had for B. Next we go on to garage and C. I've already shown this ult here, and that's basically it from garage. You can also molly. Once again, all these mollies for anti-floods. You can free throw to stop people from like peeking you and taking angles against you. Next we go C. So on C, there is a couple things you can do. The first one is this molly. So you go into this corner and you aim at this circle here, and then you just go straight to the left of it and like aim in like the middle of like this like stalk next to it, or, like this little part next to it. Oh, and then you have to jump. I forgot about the jump. We're gonna jump through, and you should land here. Nice and perfect for that that angle. So it just gets rid of these angles. It's really nice not to have to check those. It doesn't really they're not really very fun angles to clear, and they can be really problematic if I have shotguns and things like that. It's just a very annoying angle in general. Generally, I don't like ulting C a huge amount, so I don't really ult C that much unless we go through garage, as I mentioned before. And if you're going to five people C, then you can just do just here like this. You can also do it further in actually, like this, like on the hay bale as well is also fine. This is completely fine for C. Okay, so we're going to post plant for attack. So the first thing I'll show you is in this corner. You want to go and line up with this top right part of the power box with the nano swarm like corner, top right corner like this on the icon. Just normal throw and it goes on to default. You're going to be playing from long a lot of the time. Killjoy likes to play off site a lot, so yeah, just use your turret to like defend you here as well. You can put alarm bot on the bomb as well if you want to. That sort of stuff can really help. When we are going B, I'm usually going to play in like this sort of region, or I'm going to be playing window. Sometimes I'll play even over here defending garage, and then I'll be like coming around in this corner to contest the bomb. There is a lineup I have, but it's a bit temperamental finicky. You just want to tap W at the same time as his left click, and then you're just about putting enough momentum on it to get it under the doorway. Sorry, you just about putting enough momentum on it to get it through like far enough, but under the doorway. As you can see, it's not very reliable. I can do it like, I think I can do it about 8 times out of 10, but that's no good really for a proper lineup. So you can take that lineup if you want. I recommend you find a better one that's a bit more consistent. On A, we're going to be mainly playing from short. And when I play from short, I like to have my mollies pre-placed, because it's really hard to get them onto the bomb once everyone's on site. And it's really hard to do that from short. But generally, you get better fights from short. You're more defensive. You can play a bit more defensively on short. You're a bit harder to kill on short. So that's the reason why I like to play short. If I happen to be long for whatever reason, maybe I'm like I late lurked and now I'm back in. I came back through lobby for whatever reason. Then I have lineups for it as well. So we're just gonna look at this light bulb here, and we're gonna put our left click diamond on it. You can also just aim directly at the corner of the roof, but I have other lineups that use that white diamond from this position, so I'd like to look at the white diamond personally. Basically in the middle, left click, and it will fly over to default. And that's basically it for the guide. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one.